लोगों को ये समझना है कि in Mumbai, most of the people, your wealth, 70-80% wealth is your real estate.
Right.
What will happen in case of emergency? What
Right.
will happen in case of earthquake?
Right.
Or if some fire takes place, then they put a stack parking, building में चलने का जगह नहीं, बच्चे लोग को खेलने का जगह नहीं. ना उसमें होता क्या है कि always if you see in any society, कोई एक चेयरमैन होता है कि वो फिर 20-20, 25-25 साल तक वही चेयरमैन रहता है. तो over a period of time, that guy started believing he is the owner of the building.
Owner of the society. Hi everyone. Today with me here is Mr. Parag Shah, who is the Chairman Emeritus of MICL Group. He is a real estate industry veteran with over 30 years of experience in the industry. And today we are going to ask him a few things about his journey and the redevelopment scenario today in Mumbai. So, very good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, my first question to you is about your journey. You are an industry veteran, and it's been almost 3 decades that you've been in this industry. So, how has real estate panned out over these 30 years? When you started your journey, what was the scenario like as compared to how is it like right now with so much redevelopment happening?
See, the track record of MICL Group, it was started by my father, not me.
Okay.
They started in 1964. But we were an industrial contractor.
Okay.
I joined the company in 91. I was also a part of the industrial contracting, and then we were mainly into infrastructure.
Right.
And one infra was always into EPC business.
Okay.
So we were into EPC business till 2010.
Okay.
2010 onwards, we started EPC, continuing the EPC along with the development project with some of the fresh land, but most of the redevelopment projects in Mumbai. So, yes, before 30 years, the scenario was very different for a redevelopment. So, when the redevelopment projects, I remember when they started, at that time, वो पान की दुकान पे सो दे होते.
Acha.
And that's a fact.
Right.
Like the three friends are standing on a Panwala ki dukan pe, and all three are investors.
Acha.
And putting some 10, 20 lakh rupees, they started becoming developers.
Developers.
Most of them were getting fell, and few of them survived.
Right.
And few of them had given a good product also.
Right.
Don't deny that. At that time, there was no much regulation. Like mainly the RERA regulation, the PMC norms. And in the initial days, like especially in some of the areas in Mumbai, I noticed that very few developers were getting work from different societies because of all juggleries of FSI.
Okay.
Then over a period of time, the BMC has become more stricter.
Okay.
New rules have come, the new era. Now it is still, I can say, it's not 100% true, but yes, compared to 30 years, like we are at 80% result is there.
Okay.
We are much better.
Much better.
The reputed people are getting the projects. And the society's awareness has also increased. But every society, see, when I have to take a call as the chairman of my company, I'm a sole person like who has to take the decision.
Right.
But in a society, always there are 30 members, 40 members, and many projects like we do redevelopment projects where there are 600 to 800 members are also there. Like we completed also some of the project, and we are working on now 2,000 members project. It's always very difficult. It takes a very long time. But yes, some of the people greed sometimes kills the project.
Yeah.
तो लोगों को ये समझना है कि in Mumbai, most of the people, your wealth, 70-80% wealth is your real estate, your home.
Right.
Not talking about the high grade people, but overall 90-95% people of Mumbai,
Right.
You ask, what is your wealth and what is your value of your house, and that they are sacrificing something just
Right.
because कि भाई मेरे को 2% ज्यादा मिलेगा,
थोड़ा ज्यादा चाहिए,
और ये चाहिए.
Right. मेरा एक फॉलोअप क्वेश्चन है, वेरी रेलिवेंट टू व्हाट यू सेड, एंड ये चैलेंज हम लोग बहुत फेस करते हैं जब भी हम रीडेवलपमेंट का कुछ कंटेंट डालते हैं. लॉट ऑफ पीपल कमेंट सेइंग कि आवर सोसाइटी मेंबर्स आर नॉट अग्रीइंग, दे आर नॉट कमिंग टुगेदर. सो we know the rule is 51%, but what advice would you give to these members, जहाँ पे जैसे आप बोल रहे हो 2000 लोगों की एक सोसाइटी मेंबर्स का आपने प्रोजेक्ट लिया है, जो भी बड़ी सोसाइटीज के मेंबर्स हैं, आपको इनको एडवाइस क्या दोगे आप इनका, क्योंकि क्या है रीडेवलपमेंट एक समवे यूनिटी की वजह से भी अटक जाता है. तो आपका क्या एडवाइस है ये सोसाइटी मेंबर्स को जिनका रीडेवलपमेंट बिकॉज ऑफ नो यूनिटी अटका हुआ है?
तो उसमें होता क्या है कि ऑलवेज इफ यू सी इन एनी सोसाइटी, most of the societies, the chairman, secretary, treasurer, because these are the honorary posts.
Right.
No one is interested.
Right.
तो क्या होता है कि हर सोसाइटी में कोई एक चेयरमैन होता है कि वो फिर 20-20, 25-25 साल तक वही चेयरमैन रहता है. अच्छा,
Right.
उसको नहीं रहना है तो भी बाकी के मेंबर उसको फोर्स करते हैं कि नहीं, आप 20 साल से संभाल रहे हो,
संभालो. Yes.
तो over a period of time that guy started believing he is the owner of the building.
Owner of the society.
Now when the redevelopment comes, वो टाइम पे उसको जो क्रेडेंशियल उसका जो कि भाई मैंने 20 साल में सेक्रेटरी रहा, मैं 20 साल चेयरमैन रहा,
मुझे कुछ मिलना चाहिए.
इट्स ह्यूमन नेचर,
Right.
इट्स नॉट अ मिलना चाहिए, बट आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द फाइनेंशियल टर्म्स, नॉट एवरीवन इज लाइक दैट, बट लाइक ही वांट मोर रिस्पेक्ट.
ओके.
और ही वांट्स हिज वीटो पावर.
राइट.
और उसमें क्लैश होता है.
राइट.
Many a times in many societies, yes, we face such type of people also. So whenever one infra negotiate with any society, in the first meeting I say, whatever you people want, I will give.
Okay.
But I will put it on a paper.
हाँ, ट्रांसपेरेंसी.
मैं वो पेपर पे ही रखेगा.
ओके.
क्या है, पहला मीटिंग में बात खत्म हो.
राइट.
If someone is having their personal interest, और नेक्स्ट टाइम से मन इंफ्रा में नहीं आएगा. ना उनका टाइम बिगाड़े ना मेरा टाइम बिगाड़े. राइट.
गॉट इट. So sir, you rightly pointed out कि 20-20 साल से ये लोग ने चेयरमैन का पोस्ट होल्ड किया. Would you suggest in a way that new people should take up these posts, like youngsters should enter this post and maybe take that initiative forward for redevelopment?
Frankly speaking, इसमें ना बहुत सारे ifs and buts हैं. Yes, the changing the committee is yes good solution, but what happens when the redevelopment issue शुरू होता है, या लोगों को लगता है कभी एक आधा साल में हमारा बिल्डिंग का कोई रीडेवलपमेंट में जाए, वो टाइम पे ऑल ऑफ अ सडन पीपल आर इंटरेस्टेड.
ओके.
टू बिकम अ चेयरमैन ऑफ द सोसाइटी, टू बिकम अ सेक्रेटरी ऑफ द सोसाइटी.
राइट.
मोस्ट ऑफ द सोसाइटी में आप देखोगे कि एक फिर नई कमेटी बनती है, सब कमेटी.
राइट.
कॉल्ड रीडेवलपमेंट कमेटी.
राइट.
तो पीपल हैज टू अंडरस्टैंड. But yes, I also know, I am also giving advice, but it may not be possible in every society. It's a big struggle. पहले redevelopment के projects जो होते थे, उसमें transparency नहीं थी.
अच्छा.
But fast होते थे.
अच्छा.
2 महीने 3 महीने में society decision लेती.
Right.
अभी redevelopment का project when we start talking and we conclude it, it generally take 1.5 to 2 years.
My God.
It's a long gestation period. Now लोगों की ग्रेड बढ़ती जा रही है.
Okay.
One said the government is putting a different type of taxes and this. So ultimately जिसको नहीं गरज है वो ठीक है, but हर सोसाइटी में ऐसा कुछ ना कुछ तो रहेगा कि भाई like because and there are certain times people are genuine also, like we are doing some of the redevelopment where one old lady is staying. She doesn't have a kid, she doesn't have anyone. She is around 82.
She doesn't want to move.
No, she said, I don't want redevelopment.
Right.
Which is right also.
Right.
But she has to understand also that because of her,
there's so many families.
Parents' family
are suffering because of it. Sir, what advice would you give to people who are living in the dilapidated buildings today? Because we were reading a survey which said almost 30 to 40% in people in Mumbai are living in dilapidated buildings which are not in a livable condition. So what advice would you give them so that they can kickstart the process of redevelopment?
Most of the deliberating condition building, because I've been into politics also, so I'm aware about the situation, because this type of deliberating building members or a landlord or a society, every day there is one case comes.
Acha.
Now, sometimes I also get confused to what advice should we give. Because see, first of all, I would give advice to BMC and the state government, which they will have to be more active.
Right.
And luckily now, since last 1.5, 2 years, the BMC and the state government has become proactive
Okay.
towards the redevelopment of such type of buildings. Now all new GRs are coming up.
Okay.
But what happens is like building is in a redeveloping condition. Like in our Ghatkopar, there are so many areas are there which is affected because of Navy.
Acha.
So there is 500 meters from a Navy
Okay.
air range.
Air range. Okay.
You can't develop. And now that decision is pending since last 12 years. There are so many buildings are there for development. There are so many buildings are there which was deliberated, which BMC had broken also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now BMC had removed the members outside, but now BMC doesn't have authority to construct because they don't have approval from Navy.
Right.
So such type of departmental hurdles. Sometimes the members are cooperating, but the landlord is very stubborn.
Right.
Because he himself is not staying there.
Right. In case of Pagdi building, you're
In
saying.
Pagdi building. This is all deliberating condition. Most of the deliberating
Our
condition
Pagdi
buildings
building.
are a Pagdi building. Or these are many buildings are MADA building or a government building.
Okay.
Like in our area also, there are so many buildings are there. But what is the conclusion? Okay, for that, government has to become proactive. BMC also has to understand that by this, there are certain buildings which can't get developed with paying all this premium.
Right.
So they will have to give a special concession to such type of building. The members also has to understand. Even though they are staying in deliberating condition, even though there are so many buildings are there, where if they offer me a cup of tea, I won't wait for having a cup of tea because
This
मुझे
is
बड़ा
risky.
लगता है कि साला वो चाय पिएगा ऊपर से कुछ गिरा तो
Right.
तो ऐसे बिल्डिंग में वो लोग बेचारे
वो लोग
5-5,
रह रहे
10-10 साल रहते हैं लोगों की मजबूरी है तो दिस इज द कॉम्बिनेशन नॉट ओनली द मेंबर्स लैंडलॉर्ड माडा और बीएमसी और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट
सबको मिलके आके आना पड़ेगा
and the developer also like
अच्छा.
I could say that like it can be we can work as in CSR also
Right.
तो मोदी जी ने जो रूल्स बनाया कि भाई नहीं CSR फंड वापरो
राइट
तो ऐसा हम काम में भी तो कर सकते हैं कि भाई पराग भाई साल का मानो 3 करोड़ स्क्वायर फीट काम लेके बैठा है
राइट
तो 21,000 फुट तो वो काम CSR में करे
राइट
where he can do the work at cost to cost. He may not earn, he may not lose money.
Right.
So that developers also has to come. But it's a long process. It's not very easy.
Right. Right. Very insightful, sir. Sir, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है आपसे जो मुंबई इतना रीडेवलपमेंट चल रहा है एग्जिस्टिंग एंड ऑल द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स जो आई थिंक इन द कमिंग इयर्स विद द न्यू गवर्नमेंट इन दे आर स्पीडिंग इट अप सो बहुत जल्दी लाइव चले जाएंगे लाइक कोस्टल तो चला गया अटल सेतु इज लाइव एंड मोर सच कनेक्टर्स विच आर गोइंग टू गो लाइव व्हाट इज योर विजन ऑफ मुंबई इन 2040 आपको क्या लगता है मुंबई 2040 में कैसे दिखेगा क्योंकि ये सारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स भी लाइव होंगे ये सारी रीडेवलपमेंट स्काई स्क्रेपर्स भी आ जाएंगे एंड सम ऑफ यू सम ऑफ देम सम आइकॉनिक स्ट्रक्चर्स यू आर आल्सो बिल्डिंग सो यू नो इफ आई वाज टू आस्क यू टू पिक्चर a Mumbai in 2040 what is the picture that you get in your head
See, the picture which we have to paint.
right
It's a canvas paper.
right
Now, what you are painting? What is your aim?
Right.
So, first of all, the development. Developers has to make a good building.
Right.
Not only a sale point of view, but building skyline point of view also. Every developer. But surprisingly, like we just got a recently a policy on iconic building that they will get some additional 8%. Now there is with one condition. that the developer should have a turnover of last 3 years 5,000 crore rupees. What is the relevance with that?
Right.
Like suppose I do not have a 5,000 crore rupees turnover maybe last year or last to last year. But if I want to make a good design building, iconic building, why can't I make?
Okay. So you're saying that there's a rule in place.
Such type of rules, government, which is wrong.
Okay.
Number two, the type of development which is going on, and time and again I spoke to BMC Commissioner also. But we have to understand again, we can't give permissions because the FSI is more or less safe. Like I just give an example of say Ghatkopar and Mulund. My projects are going on both the sides. Now Ghatkopar, because of the funnel zone, the highest permission is available 18-19 floors. Okay. And in some of the areas may not be 12 floors also. उसके ऊपर बिल्ड नहीं कर सकते because of it's a flying zone में आता है. Flying zone आता है, right. But the Mulund, it's not on the flying zone, so you can construct the 60-story, 70-story building also. Okay. Both places the FSIs are same. Acha. So the land value or a redevelopment value, a landlord or a society doesn't understand. And the developer has to quote accordingly. बराबर. अभी इधर मेरे को 15 माले का बिल्डिंग बनाना है, उसमें 3 लाख फुट बांधना है. और उधर मेरे को 3 लाख फुट बांधना है, मे बी विथ 50 स्टोरी बिल्डिंग. Right. I can always be able to give a better deal there. Space between the two buildings, a car parking facility. Okay. You may not require to go in the basement more. You can do 3, 4, 5 levels podium. Here, if we want to provide a parking. Say, when I used to stay in my old house where I'd born and brought up, for 23 years I was staying there. And there was one car in the building which was my father was having. Acha. Yeah. Now, everyone has 2 cars on an average. Right? So cars are increasing. Yeah. I have 7 cars at my home. Okay. Out of 7 cars, still 1 car has gone to a garage or somewhere. Okay. Like we start feeling that, oh, we don't have 1 car today. Right. Now, where do we put this parking? We have to restrict also by this much height. You cannot go more than this FSI. Otherwise, what will happen is everyone wants to develop this. I can show you number of areas where the new buildings are coming up, hardly with 6-meter gap between the two buildings, and it's like everyone's house are facing like each other. Yeah. Each other. पर्दा खोलो सामने का घर दिखता है. Parking. Right. What will happen in case of emergency? What right. will happen in case of earthquake? Right. Or if some fire takes place, even the fire brigade vehicles are not able to move there because developers and the society, while taking OC, yes, there are rules, but post OC, there is no much control. Then they put a stack parking, building में चलने का जगह नहीं, बच्चे लोग को खेलने का जगह नहीं. So now what we want to design, like if you are asking again answer to your question that in what will be the Mumbai, how it looks 2040. Yes, you may be having a Tulsi too. You will be having a sea road. It's all good, but by in the 2040 it will be a requirement. See, आज हमको लग रहा है इधर अटल सेतु हो गया, ये बड़े रास्ते हो गए, इधर मेट्रो आ गई. बट 2040 में तो जैसे आज लोकल ट्रेन की वैल्यू क्या है? राइट. कुछ भी नहीं. बनी होगी तभी अच्छी लग रही थी, बट आज क्या है? राइट. नेसेसिटी. यही 2040 में ये रोड, क्योंकि हाँ ये रोड नहीं बने होते हैं तो 2040 में तो आप मुंबई में ट्रैवल ही नहीं कर सकते. राइट. बट दैट government has to understand we have to expand the Mumbai. We have, other than going only vertical, we have to go horizontal also. Right. Spread out. Otherwise, yes, we may be having a good house, but जिसको नजर कैद बोलते हैं ना, वैसा हमको घर में रहना पड़ेगा, work from home. Right. Thank you so much, sir, for your words and your intellect. It's really an eye opener for everyone. इतना जो आपका knowledge है, we get a few bites out of that. It's really valuable, sir, for us. Thank you so much.